Hey everybody, Sunny with Synergy Real Estate and Property Management here in Bakersfield today. I hope you're doing well. Glad to see that you're back with us and watching our videos. So today we're actually going to go over something with commercial real estate. So commercial real estate is kind of a new hot topic, especially with COVID and all of these bankruptcies of these retail companies, office spaces said to be needed much less, so on and so forth. And so it could be very lucrative for people looking to purchase their own commercial properties, to lease properties moving forward, to get really good terms on their leases. And so we wanted to go over some of the basics and how a commercial lease generally works. So one of the main points obviously is going to be the term of the lease, right? So a lot of landlords are looking for longer terms, right? So if you're in brand new business and you're looking to start, most of the time you're looking to kind of tie yourself into a contract for as little time as possible. In some cases, some people want to be month to month, right? What the landlord is, however, looking for is someone who is stable, right? Even if it is a new business, the landlord is looking, okay, is there cash coming in the door from either this business or another business that allows me to be okay with leasing to this tenant? And does this business make enough sense that we can actually see this person making money, or are we just leasing to them to take the money that they do have now and then have to kick them out later, which obviously doesn't make as much sense in a commercial setting because you are going to have to spend money for the eviction and things like that. So as far as the term of the lease, most landlords are going to want to see multi-year. Basically, the more secure you can make it as a tenant, the better it is for that landlord. So then the second would be kind of the terms of the lease, and part of those terms are what kind of a lease is it? Is it a gross lease? Is it a triple net lease, right? And a lot of business owners, especially the new ones, are looking at properties for their business and they're saying, okay, well, I want to just pay $1,500 a month flat, like it's a house rent payment. However, you have to take into account in commercial real estate, there are a lot of different factors. For example, janitorial, for example, utilities. Those things can be taken care of by the landlord, but are often included in the rents, right? So we want to see what is it that you need, what are we getting, and we want to try to match those two things together, right? And from there, you can then make a choice as to how you are going to structure this lease agreement. So for example, in the office space, if we're looking at office buildings, a lot of those leases become triple net leases, which means that the tenant is helping the landlord pay for the property taxes, the ongoing maintenance, etc. on the property. And what that does for the landlord is that says, okay, that's really good, and we can, repay our expenses, so that does make that profit kind of flow on through to them from what they make from the rents. But as a tenant, then you also have to be careful because those expenses can get out of control if the property is being mismanaged, and that comes down to you as a tenant at that time to then have to take care of those expenses. So something to look at, something to make sure that you're, kind of peeking behind the curtain a little bit, so to speak, right? Another thing is possession that we want to talk about, right? So a lot of these landlords, are looking for, okay, we want to lease the property on the first, and we want to give you the keys on the first, right? Because in that scenario, theoretically, that landlord loses the least amount of money, being that the day you move in is the day rent starts. However, in a commercial setting, when you open a business, there's a lot of things that have to be done. For example, if you need a specific floor plan for your business, but you're going into a vanilla shell building, they're going to have to build that whole thing out, right? On top of that, once this floor plan that you need is built, then you need to have your finishes installed. You need to have your desks and furniture installed. And then you can be operational, right? And you have signage, you have business licenses, all kinds of things that aren't even tied into your physical location that you do need to have to run a legal business. And therefore, it could be a little bit more beneficial for you as a tenant if you're looking at, maybe being able to take the property, take possession of the property sooner than the rent will start, because that will allow you some lead time to be able to take care of what you need to take care of to get your business up and running so you can start making money as quickly as possible without having to pay the rents, right? So that's something that we definitely want to look at when looking at the leases as well. And then finally, something really basic that we wanted to go over was we wanted to make sure that if you go into, as a tenant, if you go into a commercial property and you're looking at a large shopping center or a multi-tenant building at least, it will behoove you to have kind of the exclusive for whatever your business is. So for example, there are a lot of automotive industrial centers in Bakersfield here that do have almost competing business. They're all mechanics at the end of the day. They may focus on different makes and models, but they all can work on the same thing. Therefore, competition can increase between these tenants, taking business away from some, adding business to some, and that can kind of lead to some problems with some tenants. So definitely something where if you have, even a tobacco store, we want to make sure that our exclusivity for that right to own a tobacco store is going to be protected, so we're not going to have to deal with other businesses that are coming in and also trying to take market share from our product in our same physical location, right? So a couple different things to look at and a couple different options. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can see the information below or after the video as well. And we're always here for any kind of real estate needs that you may have, whether you're purchasing, selling, leasing a property. If you have any property that you need managed, we are here for property management as well. Thank you.